In this quick tutorial, I'm going to talk about the clean. The clean is a beautiful movement. The movement's in the name, clean. It's meant to be a clean movement because you cleanly take the kettlebell from the floor into the rack position. Usually it's easier to teach this once you've done your hip hinge work and you understand about hip hinging because it's a hinge motion. Okay, key difference. In the swing, you would have learned about the arc of motion being from here outwards. The clean moves at a much closer arc here. Okay, so that's the difference, but you're still hip hinging. So you have to learn how it feels a bit different and how the weight goes slightly differently because of its line of travel and the force. Okay, so this is a key difference between the two. A lot of people find cleans tricky because they always bash their wrists with them and they put loads of force behind it like the swing, because the swing is a bit more blunt and brutal like that. You can put a lot of force, put loads of force behind a clean with the same weight, it's possible it will just fly up and hit you. Okay, when you drive really hard, you should be able to create a nice movement with this. So if you haven't already got a good hip hinge, you should already go back and learn how to do that with the swing and then come forwards to the clean. So I'm going to assume that you've got a good hinge and you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the clean. I'm going to start with the dead stop. Okay, simple dead stop clean. This will just teach you the line of travel up to the chest and how it should be. Turn the weight, normal hip hinge position. I'm going to use two hands to start with. Lifting hand, supporting hand. Eyes forwards like the hinge. As I pull up, I'm going to take the weight to my chest. And that's it. And two hands can take down. That's it. It's a simple dead clean. And there's nothing bad about using that at any point. It doesn't matter just because you can do a fast clean that you should. Dead cleans are safe and simple. Okay, especially if you're going to press, don't waste your energy on just doing a clean just for the sake of it if you don't need to. Okay, it's better to get it up there safely. So that's a two hand. Now, of course, you can then have to do a bit faster with one hand. That gets a bit more challenging because you have to have a quick snap. Okay, so this is going to start teaching you about how to get the movement. The clean, as you rise, the arm has to stay pretty much dead close to the body. Dead clean's a bit different because you're further up. It's not going back. But as you're going up, and the hips snap, just like with a barbell clean, the hips have to snap to produce the force. They drive the weight up. You're not just pulling. 20 to 30% maybe is the pull to support the weight. Comes up, bam, bam, and we catch. So it's a bit like a row action almost here as you drive, because the elbow goes back a bit, and then you drive the elbow forwards. So then I'll be looking a bit more like loading the hips, back shoulder. I'm going to go up to here. You can see it's quite a quick, close action in here. If it's far away, you're going to feel this. That's what a lot of people do. They go, oh, my wrist, and then you're casting it, we call it, where you start throwing it off like a fishing line. That's painful, really horrible. So that's why the line needs to be good, and your ability to get under it quick, absorb the force, just like a plank. It's a standing plank, boom, at the top. And of course, practice makes perfect. Now, once you've done your dead clean, you can then start doing a single hand. You can start doing it normally, okay, one hand. Do your quick pull. The hip drives it, okay? Pull, drive with the hip. Think about pulling through with the deadlift and then pop with the arm. Some good ways to practice are doing rows and then going up into the clean. That might help you think about the elbow and the way the arm's moving, okay? Now, moving on from those, you're going to want to be able to get a little bit more power because you're going to start doing bigger weight, okay? Very important. And we talked about the gunslinger as well. This is also another good way to learn. So think about the hip power. You're just going to let the weight float purely on the hips, no arm. That's just going to stabilize here, like a pistol, so a gun, okay? And I'm trying to emphasize that hip action. So with these two drills, you can really practice how to get the weight up. Another way, this will help you reinforce it. Another idea is to think about a wall right here, and you're going to paintbrush its quite quick and close, okay? We don't want to touch it. So you can start thinking about force through the floor again. Okay, when the weight goes down, think about aiming into your belly button. This has always been a good cue that I've found helps. Aim towards, and it goes straight into that position. Try and get it into the belly button. And you just notice how much easier it dips straight down and you can drive back up, okay? That is the clean in its essence. With 2 bells, it's exactly the same, but instead of being like this triangle, I take my foot a bit out to match 2 of them. And then I essentially have to have exactly the same movement. That's it. That's the only difference that you have to worry about. That's the clean. Any questions, do send them over. And I hope this puts you on the right path to mastering the clean.